Jai Chandra, everyone.
Jai Jinendra ji, Jai Jinendra everyone. Can we do prayers?
Yes.
Yeah. Jai Jinendra, everyone.
Jai Jinendra.
तच्चयति परं ज्योतिः समं समस्तैरनन्दपर्यायै कर्पणतलैव सकला प्रतिफलति पदार्थमालिका यत्र जय जिनेन्द्र
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra Shubham.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra. This recordings I have put of the classes of Purshat Siddha Upaya. Has anybody seen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I've
ma'am.
seen that. Yeah.
Because my tick marks are still blank
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, everybody has to see, ma'am. Otherwise, you won't. I don't think it will change in the team. We are sending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, nobody acknowledges it also, so it's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I saw in one of my yoga classes, expect nothing, appreciate everything. So I'm
You're becoming a Zen.
Huh?
You're becoming a Zen.
Zen. No. It's it's a good life lesson actually. When you do that, like earlier, I used to expect people to acknowledge when I put the thing. At least say yes, we received it, we saw it. Now I'm basically I used to expect because I was worried that it hasn't gone through to people. I'm technically very challenged, so I used to think that people have it. It hasn't gone to the group, or it's not reflecting in the group. And now I've stopped expecting to be. Being there also. Like I have done my duty. If it is there, it is there. If it is not there, they'll complain, and after that I'll see.
Really, when we develop that attitude, ma'am, a lot of things get resolved by itself, at least in our mind.
Very true.
Yeah. I also realized there's no point. I mean, you are yourself. It is that ekatva bhavna. You can't change the world, so you just have to change yourself.
Yeah.
There's no point in telling people.
We message, ma'am.
Today we are starting the Charitra, or where are we
I think
now?
we done up to 50, 60 something.
50 or?
No, that is in the Paramagam Vichar. What has ma'am done?
Madam has come up to 51, 50.
Yeah.
50.
50.
Yes. So we'll be starting 51.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra, Rita ji.
Jai Jinendra.
Ma'am is not having signal, so maybe let me call her.
Hello.
Jai Janendra, ma'am.
Jai Jinendra,
Jai
ma'am.
Jinendra, ma'am.
Just got late.
Jai Jinendra, ma'am.
Jai Jinendra, ma'am. Jai Jinendra, everybody. How are you all doing? All okay? Okay.
Well,
Chalo.
ma'am. Well,
Prayer
well.
done? Prayer done?
Yes.
Yes,
Mangalacharan
ma'am.
done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts, questions, inquiry, suggestion, remarks related to
Ma'am,
the...
yeah, this 50th shloka, ma'am, when he says, um, when you don't understand the Nichyanaya
Hmm.
and you just blindly follow what is being
Hmm.
said, then he becomes lazy and he becomes he ruins his own conduct, kind of thing. How, I mean, if he's not a, I know this book is written for a higher level of intelligence and things like that. He clearly says it in the beginning. But then, how is it impossible for everybody of even an average intelligence or even a slightly above average intelligence to understand Nichyanaya in everything?
How it is impossible or how it is possible?
How is it possible? I mean, he's got only average knowledge and
Yeah.
I mean, generally, it's only people who are highly evolved who can understand the Nichyanaya.
Yeah.
So that means that he's denouncing the faith that the usually people have bhakti, right? That faith
Yeah.
kind of. So he says you shouldn't have bhakti also if you can't understand the Nichyanaya. Is that what he means?
See, a very, very, very nice question. Very important also. Definitely, you all know that Moksha Marga is accomplished only by a number of Jiva, 608 in 6 months. Even though there are millions of people who are taking to religious practices, devotional practices, philanthropic activities in the name of religion, in the name of punya, in the name of dharma, in the name of God. There are millions of people who are engaged. No, if there are 7 billion people, you can say at least 4 or 5 billion people are taking to religious practices. So just by taking to these practices, can you accomplish the path of liberation or self-realization? No. Eventually, maybe you can. No guarantee that you will. Okay, so what is a guarantee is definitely we are all rational animals. So you have to apply the rationality in understanding the higher truths, in understanding the real path, the real nature. If you fail to do that, then we are not humans only. Without the seeing and punch, without the horns and the tail, we are all like animal life only we are living. These are our lower instincts which we have to conquer. And how is it possible to conquer? There is only one way, through satsang, through swadhyay, through deeper listening, applying your mind to what you listen. That is the only way out. You understand? I think I've... So how is it possible? Means this is the only way, applying your mind.
Yes, ma'am. But what he also says is, karana sharanam nasayati. Nasayati karana sharanam. That means he is his conduct is destroyed by not believing in
No.
his.
His conduct is not destroyed. See, we have got a diamond. With that diamond, we can buy the riches and be settled in life. But we are using that diamond to buy 1 kg of tomatoes. So are we not destroying the value of the diamond for ourselves? Nothing happens to the diamond, but for our own self, for our own benefit, that benefit we are depriving ourselves, no? So in the same way, when you take to ahimsa and all these practices, but without understanding the deep rationale behind it, we are depriving ourselves of the benefit. That is called nashayati. Then he goes to nigodh. He only nurtures his mithyatva. So then he's depriving himself of the higher benefits.
Okay.
That way
Now
we
I
have to
can,
understand.
yeah,
That
now
way
I
we have
can
to
understand.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nashayati
it,
means he's doing good only, but it is not good enough to take him to Ratnatraya. So
yeah,
leave other jiva. Our jiva also in the past, many times it must have taken to all these practices. But where it was lacking, that it did not attain nirvana. Where it was
didn't,
lacking, it did not apply this deep rationale. So we should think that these shlokas are not for any other jiva, but for our jiva who has been in transmigration and who has failed to evolve. Now at least let it evolve.
yeah, okay. Actually, I am appreciating this course syllabus. Like Moksha Marga Prakash, he said, I'm telling it for those uneducated and people who are not very learned. But so we did that Moksha Marga Prakash. Now we come to Purushat Siddhi, where he's talking to a higher level of intelligence, where you have to pitch yourself to reach that level, actually.
Exactly. And that this prepares us to go to Samaysar and Pravachansar and Gomatsar.
Yeah.
So this text stands in between the past 3 years syllabus and the next syllabus that you're going to come.
Good.
Okay. And this text, how many ever times you read, it gives you newer insights, So I'm madly in love with this book. See, I've always loved Sanskrit, even though I'm a Prakrit tutor. I've always loved Sanskrit. And I read it and I just, when you read the verse and the meaning it throws at how much you're able to catch, and then how much you're able to contemplate, and how much you're able to digest, how much. So that keeps us going, that thinking, that is the magic of these languages.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, chalo. Yes, thank you for the opening discussion. Anybody else has anything to ask? Say something. Yes, all of you say one good word about Jinvani. All of you say one good word about Jinvani. धन्य धन्य वीत रागवानी अमर तेरी जग में कहानी. All of you go to Google and listen to this Jinvani Stuti. Dhanya Dhanya means not simply singing. Man se Dhanya Dhanya. My life has become Dhanya listening to this Veet Ragavani. Amar Teri Jag Mein Kahani. And whoever reads this, listens to this, experiments with this and experiences it. Hanji. Okay, very good. They will become Amar, or they will realize their Amar nature. They will realize their immortal nature. Atma is Amar only. Amar means Amar, no birth and death. And so eternally this Jinvani will be there to guide the people on the path of moksha. It is always there. It has always been there. How much we are with it, that is a big question mark. Okay.
I just want to say that going through this course, these words are not words anymore. They have taken a lot of deep meaning to it. So even though we would have read it in the books themselves previously, but never got to that connection that we have gone through this. So definitely this course has been very, very helpful for us to get through the real Jinvani in itself.
I think what you're trying to say is these words are Shabda Brahma.
Yeah.
Because they help you to realize the real Brahma. Yeah. Without the Shabda Brahma, nobody can realize the Brahma. Anything, you have to have the word for it.
Until now, they were merely words, though. So now that we are able to get the essence of it, they become the entry door to the expanse behind them.
Yes. And we should not just be stuck up with the words, because these are all Paroksh Gyan. We have to go to the Pratyaksh Gyan. This should lead us to that. Otherwise, we remain where we are.
True.
The journey has not started on. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? Paras bhai?
And
कहना है?
Ma'am, I think Jinwani is doing wonders. Absolutely. I remember 16 years ago when I was completely into the materialistic world. I was leading a corporate life. The kind of life that I used to have and the life that I have today, I think it's made a huge amount of difference.
Very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
it's kind of gradually. I had taken baby steps 16 years ago, thanks to my mom. But Paramagam honors, I think it's only fast forwarded my learning. And
Very
today,
good. Very well said.
yeah, and today if I don't attend this Sunday class, it looks like there's something very incomplete in my life. So
Oh,
yeah, so I'm absolutely delighted, and I'm just looking forward to more of it. To keep on learning and improving.
I would like to second what Paras bhai said. I was so much into these kind of studies, Samay sir and all that, and then my sir left for Banglayatan, Jayantilal sir, whom I used to read and learn from him, Samay sir, for 10 years, from 97 to almost 2010 or something. Just reading all these texts, not all, few of these texts with him, very systematically. And he told us, किसी व्यक्ति का पूंछ मत पकड़ो, व्यक्तित्व को पकड़ो. If you, मतलब, don't go behind a person, try to discover the personality of godhood that is there in Panch Parmeshti and all that. So when he left, there was again a vacuum, what to do. So what I did is I ordered all the books from Todarmal Smarak. And that is how I kept myself going. And until then, Paramagam also came. So this is how the journey is going on, So definitely, if you have really heard Jinwani properly, then you will want to hear it again and again and again till you realize what it is trying to say. Then automatically, even that hearing of Jinwani will drop. Okay. Like somebody may say, oh my God, I have been reading for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. I've read so many texts. What? You have read so many texts and you have not yet realized. 40 years you have read and you're still reading only. You have not yet realized. You have realized, okay, then why have you not yet accomplished it? That kind of a thing, Yeah, so no big deal if we read for 10 years, 20 years. It should hit kya bole? It should hit that idea should hit that I am a pure soul.
And I would also like to add, ma'am, that in every adversity that lies an opportunity. And 16 years ago, if you recollect, we had the financial crisis, and it was absolutely a huge turmoil across the globe. And we in India we were not different, and especially since I was working for a multinational financial company, the company had to shut down. So it was like doing very well today, and from tomorrow onwards, the world is different. So, but thanks to that adversity, I got a life which is significantly better than what it was. So I really thank the financial crisis for it.
Very good. Again, I can second what you have said. Without adversities, we don't learn the lessons. So these adversities we should welcome and see the silver lining behind that cloud. Yes. So सुख हो या दुख हो, दोनों को झेलने की कला आनी चाहिए, है ना? दोनों को समझने की कला आनी चाहिए. You should know the art of living. Yes,
मैम, जैसे टुडे आज आपने जो बोलिया, धन्य धन्य हो गया जिनवानी सुन के. For the day जब से पुरुषार्थ सिद्धि उपाय स्टार्ट हुआ है, आई थिंक हम सारे जो सुन रहे हैं आपको, हम धन्य धन्य हो गए. दिस बुक इज सम अदर लेवल, नो वर्ड्स, एज सौरभ सर सेड. वो जो भाव है ना मैम, एंड स्पेशली लास्ट क्लास जब आपने लिया था अबाउट अहिंसा, इट इज समथिंग एल्स मैम. हमने ऐसा कि कभी उसको इतना शायद नहीं डीपली समझा है, और कहीं शायद ऐसा सुना भी नहीं होगा. वट एवर अहिंसा के बारे में इस अभी जो हम वट एवर वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट अहिंसा हियर, जो एंड भाव हिंसा, इफ वी रियली अंडरस्टैंड, हम वी विल नो, सच में वी विल गेट मोक्ष मार्ग, एंड वी विल बी भव भव से हम आके
तिर जाएंगे. We will
Mm.
not fall into prey. And that 3 magical words that you've told in the last class, just leave it, that poem. Ma'am,
Mm.
I think if those 3 words, every person, if they apply, no, ma'am, this is art of living. Whether it is in material world, आपके corporate world में हो या spiritual world में हो, those 3 words are like real magical, ma'am. धन्य.
Mm.
Yes, ma'am. Life है तो करम उदय में, as they are coming, I think करम, जब when we are more prepared, I think they come more to challenge us. Have you understood what you've learned or not? That is what I have been seeing in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But जब you think कि आके okay, भाव हिंसा, द्रव्य हिंसा, when you're understanding, I think that is the time life gives you an exam. Okay, Aarti, did you understand? What did you study in the last class? So I think उसी टाइम और ज्यादा कर्म I think उदय में आ रहा है to test. Yes, I am still in the material world, so definitely no, Kashai has not gone, Kashai has not left, but instant आके वो हो रहा है कि no, राग द्वेष and आके जो मोह है ना मैम, it is the biggest कषाय ऑफ ऑल. मोह को छोड़ना very very difficult. But this पुरुषार्थ सिद्धि उपाय, हम सच में धन्य हो गए जिनवानी माता को और आप जैसे गुरु माता को, that we are listening from you and the way you are delivering it to us. Maybe there are so many people who have read Purusharth Siddhi Upay, but if they listen to what the way you are delivering it to us, it is going to be out of the world, ma'am. Life is.
I'll request Aarti to go and wash her face. She's full of tears. I can see the tears in her eyes, the sentiment in her
Yes,
voice.
ma'am. Actually, whatever life is very challenging in
yeah.
last few months, and especially actually day before yesterday, lost my cousin sister, my own Masi's daughter. She just slept 3 days back. Her husband, I would just like to share it here because हमें life की क्षणभंगुरता actually देखने को मिली. 3 days back, her husband just was taking out the two-wheeler to come back home. A 16-year-old boy, he was in such a full speed two-wheeler. He just hit my Jiaji, and further he hit 2-3 people. He was driving so rashly. I don't know, it was a car or a two-wheeler. Mostly it should be a two-wheeler. He hit my Jiaji, then further he hit 2-3 other people. He also fell down. So my Jiaji he has now undergone a 5-hour surgery. He has 3 major fractures in his left leg. So a steel rod, a steel plate has been inserted in, and it was a 5-hour surgery. And my cousin sister was like from 2 days with him in the hospital. So that night, everybody told you need rest, so you please go back home. Her children were there to take care of Jiaji in the hospital. This happened in Hyderabad. So she was back home. She came home at 11:30. 12 o'clock, she told my Masi, her mom, that I'm going to sleep, I'm tired. So 8 o'clock, I have to go back home to the hospital. So around 12:15, she had gone inside her room and she slept. Morning, 8 o'clock, her daughter-in-law just checked what happened. Maybe mom is tired. So she did not wake her up because she was lying on the other side of the door, that side facing. So everybody was thinking that she's sleeping because she's tired. Then again, she came at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. Then at 10 o'clock, she's like, Masi will not sleep my mom will not sleep for such a long time. So when she went to wake up, she found that the body had turned blue. Maybe Didi had an cardiac arrest and she expired long back. So the whole family is in shock because she was a very, a pure soul, very helping. And she had brought her mom, my Masi, from Sholapur last 2 years back to take care of mom. She's the only daughter. And Masi is now 80-year-old.
Oh my God.
The dukh of a mother to see her child go at this age is a very painful. The whole our Naniyal family is in grief. So we've just come back last night, midnight back from Hyderabad. So the whole family is in grief with the sudden loss. So life is unpredictable.
छोड़ दो.
A very, very noble soul, very humble, very caring. 500 people who were present yesterday for the Uthavna, every single person, whether it was a 10-year-old child or a 80-year-old, everybody had tear in their eyes because that is the way she lived her life. Dharam, she was a very spiritual person and she practiced spirituality in her life and her nature, the way she took care of everybody in the house. Kabhi aake, no matter what, life had challenges for her. She's never complained. She's never fought with anybody. So yahi hai that the jo people ke man mein what you leave behind is what remembered. But it's a very big shock, and for a mother to see my Masi in this pain is very, very, ma'am, very नहीं आर्द्र ध्यान रौद्र ध्यान नहीं करना चाहिए, but मोह की वजह से we are all in such a pain with this
Time
loss.
only will heal, Aarti. Time
Yes,
only
ma'am.
will heal. Definitely, it's a big loss, but then see, time will teach us things,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
life must go on. As long as life is there, hope is there. There should be that positivity. See, whatever goodness she has nurtured, it has gone with her. So she will be, wherever she goes, she will be in a very, very good place only. So you don't have to worry. Now is the time that you have to overcome your moha through the gyan. You have to
Yes.
apply what you have learned in this 3.5 years.
Right.
And now is the time to apply. What you
Yeah.
have read is
And-
not Jainism. What you apply is real Jainism.
And now we understand, Joe, whatever you want to do tomorrow, do it today.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
spiritual world, especially, kal kare so aaj kar. This is what, because life is unpredictable. Nobody
Yes.
would have ever thought
Anytime
1 hour
any
back she
paryai
was
can
dead.
change from positive to negative, negative to positive, birth to death, death to birth. So whatever paryai comes, I am that eternal pure soul, the Trikali Dhruv. That bhav should resonate. So for your Masi or whoever your cousin, the paryai has changed, but the person, the soul is eternal. So pray for that departed soul and pray for every jiva. And may every jiva be happy. May every jiva get Samyak Darshan Ratnatraya, come on the path of moksha. And pray for every jiva.
Yes.
And work for your liberation.
Yes, ma'am. I really
You can't
thank
work for
you.
others' liberation. You can only pray for their liberation. And for you, you don't have to pray, you have to work.
Yes, ma'am. I have to thank you and Paramagam Honors. पुरुषार्थ सिद्धि उपाय नहीं तो हमें कभी नहीं मिलता. In our
Okay.
Shwetambar
चलो अभी अपने
tradition.
को आगे चलना है. Class
Yes,
लेना
ma'am.
है तो लंबा discussion नहीं करना है.
ठीक है, ma'am.
Sorry to cut it short, but then
Yes,
you
ma'am.
take care.
Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am.
Anybody
Thank
else?
you, ma'am.
Anybody else wants to record
Ma'am, can I
something?
say something?
Yeah, short and sweet, dear.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I joined Paramagam Honors only because I knew Priya ma'am is teaching. First of all, ma'am. So because you were teaching, I joined, and I knew if you teach, I learn also. You know, you have this thing of learning. And after joining this, ma'am, you won't believe it's like a nasha for me. People like going out or watching movies. I'm sitting and watching lectures at 3 or 4 in the night, and my husband is like, something is wrong with you. Go to sleep at 4 o'clock in the night. Who watches lectures? And unko bhi sunna padta because I'm watching in the room, you know, on the television, YouTube dal ke. So then he thinks I've gone crazy, and I'm traveling a lot now. I keep coming to Bangalore because my son lives here. So everybody asks me, "Kya karegi tu? Wo to college chala jata pura din." I said, I mean, they say go out here, go out there. I said, no, I have lots to do. I have to sit and study. You know, so they think I'm really crazy, but I'm liking it. I'm very happy about it.
So that peace you feel, no, that me time you
Yes.
have with this
Yes,
knowledge, with
ma'am.
this learning, you feel so safe over there, and anything comes in that field, we have to be alert. Okay. I will
Yes, ma'am.
not react. I'll just respond. It could be
Yes.
an enemy. It could be a disease. It could be a unfavorable situation. It could be a calamity. Okay, wait. And then we just react, so that's
Yes,
really
yes,
nice,
ma'am.
really nice. Yeah.
So we are
I
five
know,
days I'm
Rita.
alone, ma'am. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting in the house and reading, listening, reading, listening, reading, listening. I don't get
See,
bored.
this is the best occupation, you're not dependent on anybody. You're not
Yes,
dependent
ma'am.
on anybody to take you out. You're not dependent on anybody to come in. Aaye to theek, nahi aaye to theek. So
Yes,
that
ma'am.
kind of peace you experience, no? So I have been like this for almost 30 years. How you are right now, I have
Yes,
been like
ma'am.
this for 30 years, I can say.
Nice, ma'am.
Good, good, good. I have known Rita for
Thank you,
how many
ma'am.
years right now? Which year batch you were,
I think
Jainology?
almost 25 years, ma'am.
Yeah, almost 25
मेरे
years.
शादी के पहले से.
Yeah, Shobha madam, she is Kishan Chansa's brother's daughter-in-law. Ranjit Malsa, right? Your
Yes, ma'am.
father-in-law's name, Ranjit
Yes,
Malsa.
ma'am.
Okay. How are they all doing? Okay.
All good, ma'am.
Okay. How is Rekha,
All fine, ma'am.
Vijay,
She
Shri, Shweta?
ma'am, in
Huh?
some Hindi batch. Rekha also had joined the course in some Hindi batch, but usse hua nahi, she left it in the middle.
See, they are all the typical Gyan Gach people, no? So, उनको digest नहीं होगा.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
They're typical that Thokda type and Kriya type. So
Yes,
it is very
ma'am.
difficult for them to digest all these things. I know one Mr. Champalalji Kothari who would teach all these things over there, but they
Okay.
shooed him away. They said, no, too much of
Okay.
Atma, we can't take it. We are happy with what we are doing. So it's a misfortune, whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
I have seen all that. You can't do anything. Unka time abhi aayega.
Yes, ma'am.
Their time has to come. Okay, chal. Very good.
Okay, ma'am.
Anybody else? Anybody else? I think we can have it at the end of the class. Chalo. All of you tell me which shlok we have to do now. I think it is 60, 61. Or it is from 50.
51, ma'am.
51.
51. Right? Okay, chalo. Very quickly, we are doing Purushat Siddhyupai. And Purusha means Atma, Chaitanya. Okay, and one who is absorbed in that Chaitanya, how to get absorbed in that Chaitanya Swarup Atma and accomplish it. That is Purusha Siddhi Upai. Upai means the methodology, the way to accomplish the Chaitanya Swarup Atma. So first of all, he says we should understand the Chaitanya Swarup Atma, that it is Gyan, Darshan, Lakshan and not the doing Lakshan. It is Gyata, Drashta, Akarta. When you understand this and you remain in that, then only ahimsa is happening. Vitrag bhav is happening. No raga dvesh is happening. That is the spiritual aspect of ahimsa. Clear? So where there is no raga dvesha, I think we have done that shloka. We have done that shloka, no? Where is it? Apradurbhavaha, 44. Verse number 44. Apradurbhavaha. Pradurbhava means origination. Matlab, kya bole? Uthna. No raga dvesha is happening. That bhav of the Atma is called as ahimsa. And when you are not in that bhav, it is himsa. When you are not in that Gyayak bhav, when you are not in that Vitrag bhav, we are in the Raga Dvesha bhav, and we consider Raga Dvesha as our nature, that is greater himsa than even killing thousands of soldiers on the battlefield. Because killing thousands of soldiers on the battlefield, you get papa karma, because of which you'll go to Narak. But when you don't understand the nature of pure soul and nature of himsa, that because of that wrong understanding, mithyatva, we go to Nigodh. And there we take rebirth umpteen number of times. So there is more suffering than in Narak. In Narak, at least you will get 5 indriya, but in Nigodh, you get only 1 indriya. That handicapped you become. So that is the challenge, how to understand the real nature of ahimsa. So now he goes from gross to subtle. And first he gives you the external, first he's given you the inner meaning of ahimsa. Now he'll tell you how to prepare your life, how to design your life and not fall in the trap of wrong understanding. So for that, he's giving more and more clarification. And then he says in shlok number 47 that where there is kashai, where there is pramad, whatever activity you do with pramad, with kashai, it is himsa. And without pramad, Without Kashai, it is equivalent to ahimsa. Okay, so these kind of shlokas he gives. And now he is going to tell us about 51 mein 8 sutras. Wrong understanding related to Dravya Himsa and Bhav Himsa. So when you understand these 8 sutras, you will correct your understanding of ahimsa and himsa. So what are those sutras? Let us quickly see it. So 51. See, people know, talk about himsa and ahimsa in many, many ways. So what are those ways that people talk about? Where they are lacking the understanding. See, what they are doing is a different thing, and how they are interpreting and understanding is a different thing. So let us see how people interpret these concepts and where the fallacies in the understanding happens. Okay, so that we also understand that if we are having this understanding, we remove that wrong understanding and replace it with the right understanding and come on the path of spiritual evolution. This is the background behind the sutras that we are going to do. Okay, next 51 sutra. Avidhayapi himsa falabhajanam bhavatyekah kritvapya paro himsa falabhajanam na syat. What is telling? What some people say that some jiva is not doing any himsa. He is not doing any himsa. Then हिंसा के फल को भोगने का पात्र बनता है. So yet he is experiencing the fruit of that himsa. He is not doing the himsa, but he has to go through the consequences of that himsa. And another person, he is doing the himsa, yet he is not getting the fruit of it, the consequences of it. For example, somebody is murdered, but he does not go through the consequences of the act. And somebody else is not murdered, but he is put behind the bars. So these kind of things we see. Okay, so here he is telling, so even though one person is not doing the hinsa, why he is experiencing the fruit of it? Okay, so now he is telling, now see here, now the person who was murdered, he's escaped the law. That means what? You have to see the whole graph of that jiva. In the past, that jiva must have done some good karma that has not risen now, because of which he is yet away from the punishment of the law. Okay, so he is not punished. So he is not punished because of the act. He is punished when the karmas will rise. On the other hand, the other person has not committed the murder, but he is being punished. That means for him, some karma has risen. Some karma has come in Uday, that he is met with the accident, or he's met with the punishment, or he's going through the trial, or he's going through the difficult thing. So we have to see the context, not with reference to that life, but many, many, many lives. So this himsa, ahimsa fal, you cannot understand just with one act or one incident or one life. This is what we try to get from this. Okay, वह जीव हिंसा के फल का भोक्ता, किसी जीव ने शरीर संबंध से बाह्य हिंसा तो उत्पन्न की. Okay, now another one example they are giving. One mother is trying to teach the child discipline, but the child is not getting discipline. So the mother hits the child. Okay, mother hits the child, or she takes some harsh treatment. So externally, it looks like himsa. She's beating the child, blue and black, but externally, it looks like himsa. But what is her intention behind it? Is it to harm the child? Is it to destroy the child? To hurt the child? No. Her intention is to help the child so that in future he doesn't become a big rowdy or a dacoit or a antisocial element. So there is compassion at the root. So don't judge the book by its cover. Don't judge himsa, ahimsa by the external activities. That is the meaning of this verse. Okay, next, dravya hinsa, bhav hinsa ka. So even though dravya hinsa is happening, bhav hinsa is not happening. So even though bhav hinsa is happening, dravya hinsa is not happening. So you have to look at ahimsa, himsa through many dimensions, through many spectrums, through many lenses. You have to examine things. Next one. Ekasya alpa hinsa dadati kale phalam na phalam analpam. Analpam means jada. Anyasya mahahinsa swa alpa phala bhavati paripake. Paripake means fruition. When the karma's fruition, somebody has done ekasya. Ekasya means somebody has done alpa hinsa, little hinsa, but the fruit he is getting is analpa, means bahut jada. And another person has done mahahimsa, but he is getting less phal. Why all like this? This is the meaning of the sutra. Okay, next one. Now, what is the answer for this? So, the act of doing less hinsa and more hinsa may be vary, but what is the intention behind it? What is the intensity of the kashai and bhav and ignorance behind it? That will determine the consequences. Not the mere act. Not the mere act. This is what they are trying to tell us. Okay, clear? Listen to all the things and then raise questions. Third one. The Tisra Sutra to understand Dravya Hinsa and Bhav Hinsa. Ekasya saiva tivram dishati phalam saiva mandam anyasya vrajati sahakarino rapi hinsa vaichitrya matra phalakale. See, why I'm reading the sutras is I want to expose you to the Sanskrit learning, at least let them fall in our ears. Okay. And in the Tika, they have given the Anvay. They have given the order in which you have to read the shloka. And they have given word-to-word meaning of the words that are there in the shloka. Then they have given the explanation. This is how the text is placed. Okay. Here he is telling that many people together, they join hands and conduct a act of himsa. Okay. But when the uday comes, when the fruition of it comes, it so happens that one gets the intense fruit of it, fruit matlab bearing of it, the consequences, and another one gets less. Like for example, in a family, 4-5 people together, they join hands to give a feast. So Mahahimsa happened in the form of getting so many things and doing all that preparation and everything. So collectively, they've done the Himsa. But when the Uday comes, it may be more for somebody, it may be less pain for somebody, it may be more pain for somebody just because of that act. So if the activity causes the karma, bondage and suffering, then for everybody it should be the same. But no, he's telling everybody's karmic level is different, kashai level is different, shraddha level is different, gyan level is different. So everybody's binding and fruition for them will be different. Like that you have to understand. Okay, next one, 54. He says, prageva falati himsa kriyamana falati cha kritapi arabhya kartum akritapi, I think it's akritapi, falati hinsanubhavena. That means what? For somebody, as you do the act of himsa, you're getting the consequences of it. And for some, okay, after the act is completed, you get the consequences of it. Why is it like that? You understand the question? Hinsa pehle hi phal de deti hai. What himsa you're about to do or you're doing, you get the consequences of it. And for somebody, after you have done, maybe after many days or years or births, you get the consequences of it. The rising of that karma uday will be varied for different people. So here he's telling ki hinsa happens according to the kashai bhav, not just the mere activity. So kashaya bhav himsa is there. That determines the fruit of the dravya hinsa. Clear? See, and a terrorist is also killing and a soldier is also killing. A soldier is killing for self-defense, but a terrorist is killing for terrorizing. So some terrorists can be caught then and there itself. And some terrorist may not be caught. He may become the president, prime minister of his country. For example, Afghanistan, Taliban. So it is different for different people because everybody's level of jnana, shraddha, karma is different. That's all. You cannot simply judge by the act alone. Okay? Chalo. Next one. Dravya Himsa, Bhav Himsa ka 5th sutra. Ekah karoti himsa. Bhavanti vidadhati himsam. Himsa phala bhug bhavatyekah. That means what? One person is doing the himsa, but so many people will reap the consequences of it. And on the other hand, many people do the himsa and one person will experience the consequence. All these kind of variations we can see in life in society. Like for example, in the battlefield, so many people are killing. But who will get the maximum punishment? The king. When that party loses, when that side loses, who will be put behind the bars? The king will be put. The other soldiers may left prisoners of war bol ke unko chhod denge. You understand? Okay. So like that you can see. Okay. Just give me a minute. I have some work. I'll come.
Saurabhji, can you give an example for this 56th sloka?
56.
Kasyapi himsa palakale ekamele himsa balam tisati. Kasyapi tisati himsa palamega palakale. Anyasya saiva himsa tisatya himsa balam vipulam. What it says is for one guy, when the fruition of the himsa karma happens, it gives the same kind of effect. But
Right.
for another guy, it gives a ahimsa effect. What can you give an example for that?
That's a tough question. What comes to my mind is that, say a person, like say a dacoit, he loots a town and he gets caught. When he gets caught, he is punished by the system, judicial system. But for example, this same dacoit, at some point of time, he is realizing that he is in the wrong end and he changes his attitude. So because he has changed his attitude and realized his mistakes and his crimes, he is seeking pardon from the legal system. And now that the same, he has done all the himsa so far, but he has now changed his attitude. So the legal system will pardon him for his previous crimes or give him a lesser punishment.
I don't think
Does it fit there?
No, I don't think so. No. See, what he says is for one guy, the himsa, it when the fruition comes, it gives the same effect of the himsa effect. Whereas
Yeah.
for another guy, it gives a effect of a ahimsa. That means a good thing is happening to him. When he does himsa, but the fruition of that karma gives the contrary effect. That means it gives a good beneficial effect actually.
Yeah, this is
And
where we would have to apply this.
and in Tamil they've given the example of a guy cuts trees to make a house, and so he will get, because his intention is to make a house, so he gets a himsa benefit. It's a benefit for him, not a effect of a himsa karma. It becomes because his intention, but I don't think that fits in here actually. Maybe ma'am will explain.
Sure, sure.
Okay, let me first finish all the 8 sutras.
Yeah.
Then I'll take the questions. Okay. See here, they've told that, like for example, you all know the example of Kasab, who came from Pakistan and the Taj Hotel in Mumbai. So he was hanged. Okay, whatever, he was hanged or he was killed or whatever, he was given the punishment. So he was suffering the fruit of his karma. But looking at that act, what was everybody doing? Looking at the TV channels and what they were telling, they were appreciating, no? Very good, very good. Jo hua, acha hua, he should go through this. So they are all binding new karmas. Collectively, all these people are binding karma, but everybody will experience the consequences in different ways. So even though one person has done the sin, but so many people are going to get affected by it. So like that, you can see all these kind of things happening, you know. Okay, next come to sutra number 6. Kasyapi dishati himsa, himsa phalam ekameva phalakale. Anyasya saiva himsa, dishatya himsa phalam vipulam. What he is trying to say is that sometimes when for some person, kisi purush, for some person, sorry, wait. 2 sutras are given together over here. I have to read the second one also. Hinsa phalam aparasya tu dadatya himsa tu pariname. Itarasya punarahimsa dishyati hinsa phalam na anyat. What he is trying to say over here is that किसी पुरुष को हिंसा उदय काल में एक ही हिंसा का फल. See, we have done the act. Somebody has done the act. He gets the fruit of that himsa, and for somebody, for him it may be less for the same act. For somebody else it may be different. He may get more. Suffering or consequences may be severe for the other person. Same act, but the fruit is less for one person and it is more for another person. Then he says that anya kisi ko ahimsa uday kal mein. Somebody has taken to ahimsa uday kal mein. Okay. Hinsa ka phal deti hai. He's taken externally to the act of ahimsa, but he's getting the fruit of himsa. And somebody has taken to himsa, but he's getting the fruit of ahimsa. How is it possible? A doctor is operating on a person, the person dies. So externally it looks like himsa, but the law thinks that it is ahimsa. And the law doesn't take that himsa as himsa, no. Because his intention is not to kill. His intention is to save the person. So likewise, you have to read the commentary for the examples. Okay, now somebody is doing ahimsa. He's doing daya, he's doing everything. Externally, it looks like he's doing all philanthropic activities, saving the animals and birds and saving human beings, saving lives, taking to building goshalas, everything. So externally, it is ahimsa. But internally, what is there? He wants to get the Padma Shri award. For that, he's building up a big file of his philanthropic activities. So there is himsa inside. There is Kashai Bhav. He's nurturing the Kashai Bhav inside. So externally, it looks like ahimsa, but internally, what is happening is himsa. And he's unaware of it. He's ignorant of it. He's having a pervert attitude that by doing this, I will become immortal. without realizing the immortal soul. Through these petty activities, he wants to make himself. See, I'm not telling you should not do these philanthropic activities. You should do it, but minus the Kashai Bhav. With positivity, with knowledge, with right understanding, we are to help. But don't think you are the one who is doing things. You are only a nimit. He is saved by his upadan, not by you. You are only a nimit. Like that, we have to apply the Jainism, apply the Jain philosophy. Okay, chalo. Next sutra, I think 6 and 7 had gone. Seventh one comes next. Iti, so Vividha Bhanga, these kind of many variations you can find about Dravya Hinsa and Bhava Hinsa. Iti Vividha Bhanga Gahane Sudustare Marga Mooda Drishtinam Guravo Bhavanti Sharanam Prabuddha Naya Chakra Sancharaha. He's telling, how much should I tell? There can be many such combinations of understanding of Dravya and Bhava Himsa. Sudustare means very difficult to understand the real essence of Himsa and Ahimsa. The real meaning, the real context, the real essence, the real depth. Real matlab the depth of it. Very difficult to understand one act and the whole context in which that act has to be understood. So it is sudustare. Sudustare matlab bahut kathin. So anek prakar ke bhang are there, and marga mooda drishti nam. Marga mooda means who don't understand the path. They are mooda drishti. They are having a false, perverse attitude. And who can help them? Prabuddha Naya Chakra Sancharaha. One who is the Sri Guru Sharanam, the Sri Guru who is very well versed in the Naya Chakra, and he can apply the Nayas and explain the different dimensions of Himsa and Ahimsa, only can help us. So he's telling the Naya Chakra, only through Syadvad, through Anekantvad, you can understand. For example, the doctor has operated on the patient, so relatively Himsa has happened. But another way, Himsa has not happened. His intention has to be seen. So what you're applying is a Naya Chakra. Syad, relatively yes, relatively no. So when some act happens, relatively Himsa is happening. But if you see it from another dimension, Himsa is not happening. Same with Ahimsa. Somebody is doing philanthropic activities. So relatively Ahimsa is happening. But deep down, relatively Himsa is happening. So everywhere the Syad Pad, the Naya Chakra, the Anekantvad only can help us understand the larger picture of Himsa and Ahimsa. Now he tells the 8th sutra. Those people who don't understand this Naya Chakra, for them he is telling, Atyanta Nishita Dharam Durasadam Jinavarasya Naya Chakram Khandayati Dharyamanam Murdhanam Jhata iti Durvidagdhanam. Jhatiti matlab turant. Atyanta Nishita Dharam. That means what? This Naya Chakra, which the Jinendra Bhagwan has told us, is very sharp, razor edged. And it is like a cat on a hot tin roof. It can jump this side also, that side also. So if you miss that Naya, you may conclude Himsa as Ahimsa and Ahimsa as Himsa. See, I'll tell you one thing. We all are taking to these religious activities, Paramagam studies. So we'll say Ahimsa is happening. But until and unless we understand the Bhagwan Atma, I will say Shubh Bhav is happening and Mithyatva is happening. So Himsa is happening. So relatively, this Paramagam studies is Ahimsa. If you apply it, the Naya Chakra, all the 8 Nayas, 4 Vyavahar, 4 Nishchay, then it is Ahimsa. Otherwise, it is amounting to, you are not, Rag only we are doing, no. Rag only we'll be doing. Then, oh, I am good. All the other philosophies are bad. So Dvesh only you're doing. So in the name of Paramagam also we are nurturing Raga Dvesha. So Hinsa only is happening. So that way we have to understand. Okay. So this Naya Chakra is what? Tikshna, very razor edge. Dusadhya. Dusadhya means not easily understood. And a mithya drishti, if he takes to this Naya Chakra and he doesn't know how to use that chakra, you understand? It's a shastra. Chakra, shastra. If you don't know to use that chakra, and if that chakra comes in the hands of a monkey, and if he is using it, he will hurt himself. He will hurt himself. So if a person who is Moda Drishti and he is not taking to this Naya Chakra very correctly, he will be either Vyavara Bhasi, Nishchaya Bhasi, Ubhaya Bhasi, Pramana Bhasi, and he'll remain in the fallacious state of Mithyatva with the fallacies. Clear? ठीक है? खंड खंड कर देता है. Yes. बोलो, कुछ बोलना है किसी को? Somebody, nothing. Okay, chalo. Don't stop me till I do at least 70 sutras. Because next class I will try to finish this Purusharth Siddhyupai and all of you start reading the Agam Ke Naye book. Okay, if possible. Okay, chal. Otherwise, maybe one more class for Purusharth Siddhyupai and then the Agam Ke Naye. Now, after having explained the different aspects of Dravya Hinsa, Bhav Hinsa, and he's told you to use the Naya Chakra and don't hurt yourself. Hurt yourself means don't remain in that Moda Drishti. Come to Amoda Drishti, come to Samyak Darshan. Now he's telling you to give up Himsa. He's giving the Upadesh. Now only he's giving the Upadesh. What is it? Avabuddhya, Himsya, Himsaka, Himsa, Himsa Falani Tattvena, Nityam Avaguha Manair Nija Shaktya Tyajyatam Himsa. See, if you go to other philosophies, they will directly preach to you. Do this, don't do this. But here what he's telling before that, Avabuddhya means having understood. Avabuddhya means having understood. Where is it? I don't know where it is. It is not given over there. Okay, having understood, Buddhya means understanding. What? 4 things. Hinsya, Hinsak, Hinsa, Hinsa Falani. Tatvena means as it is. Nityam means nirantar, always, consistently. Okay? The people who want to take to somewhere, they should understand their Nija Shakti and give up these 4 things. Yeah, Avabuddhya is given over there. Knowing, having knowing. They should give up what? Hinsya, what to say? They should give up Hinsa, sorry. They should give up Hinsa. They should know the nature of 4 things. What are those 4 things? They are given on page number 97. Hinsya means what? Whom you want to hurt. Okay? Hinsya matlab whom you want to hurt. Hinsak, the one who is hurting or who is doing the Hinsa. And then the fruit of Hinsa. And 4th is, 4th is fruit of Hinsa. Mahapad, they have given the meaning, be fearful of the consequences of Hinsa. But here you have to understand the meaning as Savadhan, careful. Again, I'll tell. First is, know the Hinsya. Hinsya means the person whom you are hurting, harming, killing, injuring, abusing, insulting, etc. Second is Hinsak. You are the one, Hinsak, the one who is doing the Hinsa. Then Hinsa ko, know the act of Hinsa. Know the virtue or the, not virtue, know the evil of Hinsa. And then know the fruit of the consequences of fruit, matlab the consequences of it, and then give it up. Clear? Now, this you can understand in 2-3 ways. First way is, who is the Hinsya? When you take to an act of violence, who is the one who is going to be affected? It is your bhava. So you are at the other end of that act. And when you are doing the act, you are the Hinsak. Now listen to me very carefully. Second part. Hinsak is your Moha Rag Dvesh Bhav, not your Shuddhatma. It is the act that is propelled by the Moha Raga Dvesha. But we go on a guilt trip eternally, no? The moment you realize that I am an eternal pure soul, and this was an act of more Agvish, it was my weakness. Now I will be careful. So that is when you're doing apramad, you're moving towards real ahimsa, you're moving towards akashai, you're moving towards enlightenment and liberation. But if you simply think, okay, I did, it was my weakness, I'm sorry, I'll do the pratikraman. That's all. But again, you do the same act again. So every day we are living life, every day we are doing the pratikraman, every day we are doing the same old lifestyle. No transformation is happening. So we are not understanding these four things deeply. Okay. Then hinsa ko jankar. Hinsa ko jankar means know the dravya hinsa, bhav himsa, nature. Know the spiritual dimension, know the psychological dimension, know the social dimension, the environment dimension, the economic dimension of himsa, and then give it up holistically. So what we need is a holistic understanding of these things. But people are in no mood to take these preachings. So when they're in no mood to take these preachings and we keep preaching to them, it amounts to violence. Because unka kashai bad raha hai na. It is igniting their kashai. No, they are disturbing their peace. So even though your intentions are good, but the time is not right, so you should not preach. So these kind of things are there. Okay. And then hinsa ka phal. What is hinsa ka phal? First of all, if it is bhav hinsa related to agyan and kashai, uska phal is ego. So first I have to cut that hinsa. And then now very systematically he's going to tell you how to cut down the dravya hinsa that we do outside. Very systematically he's going to go to the next sutra. Clear yahan tak? Shall I go? Okay, chalo. Now he's going to tell ki those jivas who want to give up himsa, in what order, in what methodology they should give it up. In the first itself, he told bhav himsa is the real himsa. That should be given up by understanding the nature of the Purusha. By understanding the Vitarag bhav, the Gyayak bhav. That he is told. But if a person simply takes to that and he's doing all these external himsa, that means he has not understood the right Jainism. So, for example, if you're a millionaire, you should behave like a millionaire. You cannot behave like a beggar and say, I'm a millionaire. So if you're a millionaire at the bhav ahimsa level, then it should reflect in your day-to-day life. So how it will reflect, now they are going to tell the sutras for that. Is it clear? So first he has explained the Nishchay point of view of ahimsa. Now the vyavhar that will happen when that Nishchay ka Nishchay happens. When the determination of ahimsa happens in our life, it will reflect in our day-to-day life in this way. That is what he's trying to drive us at. Clear? Am I loud and clear? Okay, chal. Now you all know the 5 Udumbar fruits and the 5 Madhya Mamsa Madhu, 3 Makar. Huh? These should be given up. Now, why they should be given up? He's going to give all the logic behind it. Why you should not take to. See, you and I don't take to all this. But in your Vitarag Vigyan, you have studied about Bhav, Vyasan, no? You have studied about Bhav, Vyasan, no? So in the Bhav way, Madhya Mamsa Madhu is there in our life. So we have to understand the Bhav and Dravya behind these practices also. Okay, so let us take the sutra number 61. Madhyam mamsam kshodram panchodambara falani yatnena. See, everywhere is using this word yatnena, tatvena, yatnena. That means applying the rational, applying the mind, applying the logic, caution. Himsa vyuparati kamair mokta vyani prathamameva. What he's telling? Those people who are desirous of giving up himsa, after having read all these 4 things, hinsa, call that. Pratham means in the first place, very carefully, yatna purvak, with lot of compassion and vigilance, he should give up 3 things: Madhyam, Mamsam, and Shodram. Shodram means Navanita, Shahada. Sorry, not Navanit. It is honey. Honey. Yeah. So Madhyam is Sharab, which includes all intoxicants resulting from Pramad. Supposing you're Tata Birla Ambani and you're very proud of your empire, it is what? The Sharab of pride. You have not taken to this physical Sharab, but you have taken to that Kashai Bhav Sharab. Sharab means alcohol. Clear? So even though physically we are not consuming alcohol, but I am so and so, I am this, I am that, that false I am, ego that we keep polishing and we keep nurturing is the pride, that alcohol, which keeps us in delusion. Okay? So Madhyam. Mamsam, we are worried about our body, flesh. Oh my God, 1 kilo ज़्यादा हो गया, 2 kilo कम करना है, 2 kilo ज़्यादा हो गया, 1 kilo तो कम करूं. Weight कम करना है. See, I'm correct like this. All you can take the supermodels, you know, how obsessed they have to be, how they have to maintain their body. They're always thinking of this. You know? So even people who do tapasya, no, they say, okay, like even I told you, in 13 months, I lost 13 kg of weight. So what was I talking about? The mamsa. Right? How many kgs of weight of the karmas has gone? Wo to dikhta hi nahi hai. And or how many kgs of karma weight has been added through this false pride of I am the doer of this tap. So all that way we have to see. Then comes Madhu. Madhu is the honey. Why all these, you know? So what you're going to read now is environmental science of Jainism. So Jainism is not just talking about compassion or spirituality at the individual level, but at the cosmic level, at the collective level, it is talking about. There are 2 faces of the same coin. If you are spiritual means you will be living an environment-friendly life. You will be an eco-warrior also. Like all the munis, they don't take bath, they are not wasting the water. They don't use any house or any vehicles. They are not liable for the unearthed and happening through mining and all these kind of things. So if you're compassionate to yourself means you look upon all creatures as your own self. So you help ever and hurt never. Okay, that much our compassion, our spirituality should not just be at the individual level, but at all the cosmic level. All living beings are like myself. So I have no right to take their life. When I can't give life to anybody, I have no right to take anybody's life. So in 3 years, we have explained to you so much of spirituality that you have understood your essence. Then you should understand that all Shat Jivanika is also of that same essence. Then only you can practice non-violence towards them. Otherwise, no. We don't have that far sight. We don't have that insight. That short-sighted we are. We, matlab, not you and I, but the people who are engaged in all these activities, they don't apply their senses or knowledge or that common sense. It's basic common sense. Okay? Chalo. Come. So understood? He should give up the 3 things and the 5 Udumbar Phala. What are the 5 Udumbar Phala? At least now you should have remembered the names. Bird, it is given in the footnote. Bird is banyan. People, you all know the people tree. Okay. Then pakar. I don't know what is pakar. Umar and katumar. So these can be like jackfruit kind of things and figs. Why these Udumbar Phal chhod dena chahiye? That means what? Leave them for other creatures. You don't consume them. These 5 Udumbar fruits these trees are oxygen-rich trees which help in pollination and building forests. These forests are the lungs of the planet. So nowhere it is told that you should not plant them. It is told them you should not consume them. That means we have to plant them. more than anything else. Leave them for other creatures. And for example, a creature comes to the banyan tree and eats the banyan fruit. Along with the fruit, the seed goes into its system. And that animal or insect or creature goes somewhere else and excretes. So the seed falls there, and there another banyan tree can grow. And you all know squirrels. They visit all these trees. They'd eat all those nuts, the seeds, everything, and they go and bury it somewhere and they forget. So where it is buried, maybe another tree can grow up. So this way, you are helping the environment to help you. This is a sustainable development model. Sustain the other so that you can be sustained. Man can be sustained. Okay. For this, I always teach the food pyramid to the children, you know. Bolo Rajal.
Ma'am, why jackfruit?
I don't know whether it is jackfruit. Fanas is jackfruit or not. First of all, that you have to find out.
Gular.
I'm not
What is
sure.
Gular?
Gular.
Gular.
See, all of you do some research. Gular is people. Gular is people. Pakar, Umar, Kathumar. Okay. See, there's one more word called Tuchaushadi. See here, Tuchaushadi, for example, Sitafal, where the portion that you consume is less and the portion that you throw out is more. So now you have to understand one thing, that food is Aushadi. Tuchha Aushadi means very less nutrition value or very less you get out of it. So we give it up. Like that, so much of thought is there about food in our Jain tradition, Jain texts. Okay, now I don't know about these 5. I have them written, but I have to.
Ma'am, Sitafal, because it is Bahubij.
Banyan is separate, I think.
Sitafal doesn't come under Udumbar fruits, dear.
No, it is Bahubij, ma'am. Bahubij.
बहुबीजी भी है और फेंकने का भाग ज्यादा है, खाने का भाग कम है. बहुबीजी तो टमाटर भी बहुबीजी है, जामफल भी बहुबीजी है.
So all belonging to the fig class, I think.
Fig class is your kathumar, I think.
Even pomegranates are bahubij, no?
Yeah.
But we eat that beej, no?
But usme beej is small, but the juice or that fruit is more part. So it doesn't come under Tuchaushad.
But do people eat people fruits? I mean, I don't think it is an edible fruit, no? People ka fruit.
No, it's, I think, not only eat, it's not to cut that tree or not to harm that tree, because people grows anywhere. Uska jo pollens hai, even the ants can move it, and on our buildings also we see them growing people trees. So I think it's like, try not to cut it. There's a lot of life on it.
My mother, no, she just lives here, and there was a peepal tree between the 2 building compounds. So the tree had grown so much. In both the buildings, the roots of the tree are spread, and the walls, the parapet wall, no, the compound wall is also, all the roots of the trees are there. And now in the houses also, the roots of the trees have come. Hold on to the ground, you know. So that is when your groundwater level and your calamity level, all things are in place. I mean, there will not be many natural calamities, flooding and all these kind of things. Even the table water and everything, you know. So everything will be good. But today our air is polluted, water is polluted, soil is polluted, ocean water is getting polluted. Why? Because our minds are polluted. There's no that spiritual element.
But then in this case of...
when you say, one second, when you say spiritual, it is not just at the self level, but at the cosmic level.
So how do you balance this, particularly this people between the building coming into the rooms and endangering people who are living in there?
They have cut the tree, but they have not uprooted it completely. So again, you go and see so many branches and leaves have come out. So we are all literally living in urban jungles. All the jungle places we have encroached. All the animals and birds and insects. That is why that violence in our hearts and minds, What
Isn't
people
it?
say, people are
Sorry.
eating chicken. They say if we don't eat chicken, then they all only will eat away all the grains and everything. We don't eat the animals, they only will eat away everything. So we have to eat them. This is the logic people give. So same way we are telling, no, if we don't cut down the tree, then our life will be endangered. Bolo.
Then the solution is to move out of that area and let the tree flourish.
No. The area where they are living is an urban place, and if not you, somebody else is going to come and cut it on. What you should do is, you should uproot the whole tree and relocate it somewhere else. This day technology is there. No, people are doing that. No, you should relocate it there. Or if you're cutting down a tree, then I'll say, okay, you should plant another 100 trees. That means what? Okay, you kill me, but you save another 100 people. No, that is also, see, let us do what we have to do, but let us have our understanding correct about the whole issue. If not you, somebody else is definitely going to come and cut it and build another house over there. All that is going to happen only.
And the other himsa,
it will come, aage come, Navakoti, it will come. Bolo.
But isn't it more harmful, violence, that you don't uproot the whole thing, but you keep cutting it as it grows again and again? This is repeated violence, no?
Yes. So go at the root. Go at the root and remove mithyatva. Then only the repeated violence that is happening in our lives and many lives will go away.
So, ma'am, Anjeer Banyan people are 3 and Pakar and Gular are other 2. But I don't know what Pakar and Gular.
One is Banyan. We all know people. Then we know figs. These are the 3 things. But what are the other 2 things? You try to figure it out. It is
Gular there and Pakar, but I don't know what it is. Gular and Pakar.
Gular.
Pakar, they are saying, comes from mulberry family. Yeah, from the mulberry trees. Yeah, there's the Pakar fruit.
See, today, after the Britishers came to India, this banyan tree plantation, everything has come down. Peepal tree, banyan tree. There was so much of religious sentiment behind this, which the Britishers wanted to kill it. So they have given all these decoration trees. Jiska matlab value, environmental value kam hai. So this is also again one attack on our culture. So we have to go back to our roots. So when we went for this Tamil Nadu trip, we saw that there were banyan trees where these Jain caves were there and Jain temples were there. Lotus ponds were there, deep down in Tamil Nadu. That was the culture throughout the length and breadth of India. That's why you find reference of Pushkarni in all our scriptures and everywhere, no? Gunashil Udyan, Guna Bhadra Udyan, Sahasra Amra Van Udyan. They used to be. So now our land area is also getting less and less. Previously, the land area also was more. The biodiversity was rich. So there was Samosharan, there was Keval Gyan, there was religiosity, spirituality, so much of himself was not there. Even though you will see that so many battles were fought in those days. Uske samne to today no battles of that kind are fought, of that magnanimity. Magnanimity matlab that magnitude. Sorry, not magnanimity, magnitude. ठीक है, चलो मैं आगे. Okay, chalo. So first he's telling, give us these.
1 second. So Gular is from the fig family. It's like a clutter of fruit. in the forest.
What are the other two, Umar and Katumar? वो भी find करके बता देना.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry, I didn't do my homework and come. I thought we all will be knowing, but देखे तो मुझे ही नहीं मालूम. पढ़ा हुआ है, अभी ध्यान नहीं है. Okay, it is there. It is there everywhere. But it is nowhere. These plants are not to be seen anywhere.
Yes.
है ना? So I want that somebody should take up this as a research project and do research how these 5 Udumbar fruits save the biodiversity and take to planting of these and saving the environment. This is in a way giving back to the environment from which we take so much. We take so much of oxygen, we take the clothes from the trees, we take the food from the trees, we take the furniture, wood for our furniture from the trees, what we are giving back. And you say that planting trees is himsa, taking to agriculture is himsa. Then we are not Shravak at the bhav level also, at the dravya level also. So if you take to agriculture and tree plantation and forest plantation, it is aram. But if you don't take to them, you're taking to industrialization, it is maha aram. And maha aram is narak ka dwar, not aram. So a farmer will not go to narak. But a Tata Birla Ambani who is into industrialization and globalization will go to, not will go to, but he is taking to those kind of activities that will take him there. ठीक है, चलूं आगे. And our Jains have come very far away from Jainism, as far as agriculture is concerned, as far as taking to all these activities is concerned. And I'll tell you, Tamil Nadu, where I live, the people there were all agriculturalists. The Jains were agriculturalists. Yes or no, Shobha madam?
Yes, ma'am.
They were all agriculturalists. So sometimes I have a doubt that we are all agriculturalists or we are all Kshatriyas. Our Tirthankas forefathers are all Kshatriyas. So we are also Kshatriyas. And then do we come from the farmer class or we come from the Kshatriya class?
Ma'am, the history says that many of them were Kshatriyas to start with. That we have many monks from the princely dynasties actually, Elangovadigal, Tirthakadevar and all those stuff. And then they took on to trading. They say that most of the Chettiars, Natukota Chettiars were Jains before. But somewhere when they went far and wide to the Southeast Asian countries, and even today in their temples, there is a Tirthankar ka Nagna image there where they first say Namaste and then only go to the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Where?
In Chettinad.
Okay.
So all these Natukota Chettiars, they say were originally Jains. That's why around Pudukota area, you have a lot of Jain temples now. But then when the Bhakti movement came and they started killing the Jains, and because of their affluence and things like that, people integrated into the society and all they could do was the agricultural work. Yeah, farming. That's how they took to it actually. Otherwise, it was not originally. They were the literate class. They were the teachers, upadhyayas, and kshatriyas and traders.
Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya.
Yes.
Okay, chalo. Whatever. Lot of research and things have to happen. Come. So quickly get Keval Gyan. In Keval Gyan, you'll know everything. But that's a wrong approach, to Keval Gyan. To know all these things you want Keval Gyan, you'll never get it. You're doing Avaran on it. Okay, that means you're interested in the other. You're interested in the other. You're not interested in the self. So Keval Gyan will say, you sit down. Keep learning about what you want to learn. Don't come to me. I'm not coming to you.
We are getting AI, ma'am, ChatGPT, artificial intelligence.
Okay, chalo, come. So, first Madhya. Madhya, very beautiful shloka this is, 62. Madhyam mohayati mano mohita chittastu vismarati dharmam. So beautiful it is. Vismrita dharma jivo himsam avishya shankamacharati.
Avishankam, madam. Avishankam means without doubt.
Without
Yeah.
doubt. Avishankam acharati. Very good. See, madhyam mohayati. When you take to this intoxicant, you will be deluded. Your mind will be deluded. And then your chitta, you'll forget dharma. Vismarati, dharma. And once you've forgotten dharma, you will, what to say, very freely take to himsa. Very nice, no? When you take to these intoxicants, you are in a deluded state. When you're in a deluded state, you have forgotten the sense of right and wrong. And when you've forgotten forgotten means you don't have the sense of right and wrong, you take to more himsa. Okay? So madhyam includes madira, and this madira includes all the what? Delusion of all these things will come in aage ke shlok mein aayega 64 mein. What all will come over there? Next one. He's telling, now this is the bhava himsa he's mentioned. Now what about the dravya himsa? When you take to madhyam, he says, rasajanam cha bahunam jivanam yoni rishyate madhyam. Madhyam bhajatam tesham himsa sanjayate avashyam. That means what? Rasajanam. How alcohol is prepared? By all that, taking all these vegetables and kind of things, fruits and all these kind of things, and you kya karte usko? I don't understand.
Fermentation, ma'am.
Fermentation.
Fermentation.
Fermentation happens. In that, multiple microorganisms are breeding, regenerating over there. So multiple levels say hinsa is happening over there. Hence, you should not take to these kind of things. See, there the Jains tell you should not take basi khana. Basi khana means leftover food, stale food you should not take. Frozen foods you should not take. Frozen matlab very deep frozen things we don't take. And then foods that have been kept for many, many days, like pickles and all that, all are abhakshya. So then you go to Google, you'll find 22 kinds of abhakshya. In that, the 5 kinds that you have studied, no? Trasghat, Rasghat, Sthavarghat, Bahughat, Anupasevya. In your Balbodh, you have studied 1, 2, 3. In Sadachar lesson, you have studied about the abhakshya. So these kind of foods also amount to violence. So how they will take to alcohol and all that. Clear? Okay, so there, Ekendriya 2, 1 sense, 2 sense kinds of beings. See, 5 Udumbar fruits also, it is a place for breeding of 2 sensed creatures. 1 sense to hai, but 2 sensed creatures breeding place is there. So leave them. Don't disturb them. Manage with what you have. Be contented. Don't exploit the earth. Don't exploit the resources. Have an biocentric life and not an anthropocentric life. But today everything is anthro means man, man-centric life. Everything for man. But Jainism is not like that. It's everything is for everybody. For all creatures, sustenance of everybody. So that there is the difference. Okay, chalo. So next one, 64, it says Abhiman, Bhaya, Jugupsa, Hasya, Arati, Shoka, Kama, Kopa, Adyaha, Hinsayaha, Pariyayaha, Sarve Picha, Saraka Sannihitaha. That means when you say Madira, alcohol, that means what? All these emotions of Abhiman is pride, fear, Glani is guilt, Hasya, delight, Arati, hatred, aversion, Shok, grief, Kam, lust, Krodh, anger, all these are associated with taking to alcohol. I told you earlier, no, when you're proud of something, it is the mad. All these things, take it. So when you take to Madira Pan, all these get ignited. All these kashai, the flame of these kashai is more. Okay. And then when a person is so lustful, he will not know whether he is with his wife or with his mother. Okay, all these kind of things. Today what all is happening with children, with people, they take to all these drinks and drugs and they do all kinds of nuisance. So we should really thank our parents for giving us birth, for giving us these genes, for not believing in all these kind of practices and not taking to them. Had we not been in a Jain family, had we been in another family, we would have also been like that, no? Yes or no? Had we been born in a terrorist family or a butcher's family or an addicted family? So these days, even women are sitting and drinking. That to the rich people more, the culture is getting worse. And all this Bollywood culture and all these culture, people just want to have a good time, party, hard, drink, and then, slog like dogs and live like animals. I've been to US, I've seen people 5 days a week, they work so hard. And at the weekend, they just booze, party. And so slowly, steadily, it enters into your psyche and your blood and everything. And that is when you become diseased and you have all these mental health issues, depression, anxiety, and all these things. That is when you take to more violence, gun culture, gang wars, and all these kind of things at the smaller level. And at the bigger level, it will be women trafficking, child trafficking, drug trafficking, weapons trafficking. But the root of it is the absence of the spiritual insight and quotient. The delusion, the deluded state. Clear? Chale aage. Okay, chalo, next one. Na vina prani vighatan mamsasyot patirishyate yasmat mamsam bhajatastasmat prasaratya nivarita himsa. Now he is going to talk about the dosha in mamsa bhakshana. Mamsa means meat eating. So this meat eating includes all kinds of tras, consumption of tras ji. Not just flesh of the larger animals, but even the insects and all kinds of 2, 3, 4, 5 sense beings, and which includes fish and egg and everything. Clear? Okay. So now he's telling, without the prani vadha, without killing anybody, you can't get the flesh of it. So definitely for a person who is taking to meat eating, anivarya roop se himsa is happening. Okay. Then he says, some people say, okay, consume it. What is the problem in it? You're telling only when I kill himsa is happening. But somebody has killed it in the forest. There is a dead animal. What if I consume it? What is wrong if I consume it? I'm dying out of hunger. So what if I consume it? I have not killed the animal. Somebody has attacked the animal is dead, I'm eating it. Okay. Now all these kind of logic is given. See, the person, he is raising the question, the author, and he's giving the answers. He's understanding the psychology of man, in how many ways it can promote the thought of violence. In that many ways, he's trying to give the sutras to, to cut it off. Huh? Okay, chalo. Yadapi kila bhavati mamsa swayameva mrittasya mahisha vrishabhadehe tatrapi bhavati himsa tadashrita nigota nirmathanat. That means what? Yadapi, even though it is true that you have not killed, somebody has died on its own. Like Mahisha. Mahisha means a buffalo. Vrishabha means a ox, a bell, a bull. Okay. They must have died on their own. Yadyapi, even though, tatrapi bhavati himsa, even though you have not killed them and they have died on their own and you consume their flesh, still himsa is happening. Why? Because the animal that has died, there in its flesh, the microorganisms are breeding of the same color, of the same type. So you are consuming them. Okay, there was one foreign, not foreign, one English scholar, I think it was George Bernard Shaw or somebody, who said that I don't want to make my stomach a cemetery, a burial ground. So people who take to non-veg, literally they are taking the dead animals and their stomach is like a burial ground. And somebody has told that had there been glass doors for a slaughterhouse, everybody would have been a vegetarian. Okay, but I'll tell you my state, I cannot see these videos. Gruesome videos of animals being slaughtered, the violence happening in dairy farming. I'm very weak at heart. I cannot see all those kind of things. Even though people make these kind of presentations, I will simply just close. I can't see. I can't see. It is not hatred. It's not dvesh. But then I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. So I feel very sad or guilty that I'm not able to do anything out for it. Okay. चलो आओ यहाँ पर next one. मांस में निगोदिया जीव की उत्पत्ति. सूत्र नंबर 67. आमास्वपि पक्वासपि विपच्यमानासु मांसपेशीषु सातत्येनोत्पादस्तज्जातीनां निगोतानां. That means what? Amaswapi. Amaswapi means raw flesh. Pakwasapi means the flesh that is cooked. And that which is being cooked. In the flesh of these things, you have the samurchana jiva, the microorganisms ka utpadan. It's a breeding place for these microorganisms. Hence, no kind of flesh, no kind of thrust jeev should be consumed. Only a plant-based diet. That too on particular days even give up that. Parvatithis, Ashtami, Chaturdashi, Paurnami, all these days give up even the plant-based diet and take to complete fasting. That is the Jain way of living. Okay, that doesn't mean, okay, no thrust jeev, okay, sthavar jeev, I can have how much ever. No, next they are going to tell how you have to be careful when you use the sthavar resources also. Sthavar jeev ke resources. Okay, next one. Amam va pakvam va khadati yaha sprashyati va pishita peshim sa nihanti satata nichitam pindam bahu jiva koti nam. He's telling whether it is the raw flesh or the cooked flesh or the flesh that is being cooked, even if you touch it or you collect it, okay, many kind of jiva samoha ghat happens. Many kind of jivas are disturbed. So don't go. You all know that Hasti Tapas example I've given you in Sutra Katang Sutra. We come across one example of Hasti Tapas that they used to say that we'll kill only one elephant. And the flesh of that elephant, so many people can eat for 6 months. So we are killing only one animal. Whereas you people are taking so many fruits, vegetables, this, that, you are killing more number of beings. So for you, only violence is more. For us, it is less. To them, they are telling that in that elephant, it is not one elephant, but so many other kinds of life forms and nigod jeev that are being generated over there. So you should keep away from that. That is why in the Jain community, we believe that as soon as the death happens, within 48 minutes, the cremation or the whatever antim sanskar should happen. Cremation means not burying, but the antim sanskar should happen because even that dead body becomes the breeding place for Nigodhya ji. So the longer you keep it, longer, the quantum of violence will be more. Okay. Yes. Somebody wants to say something. That's it. Okay. Chalo, next one. Madhu is honey. What is the problem in honey? Madhu shakalamapi prayo madhukara himsatmakam bhavati loke bhajati madhu mooda dikho yaha sa bhavati himsako atyantam. That sa bhavanti himsakaha atyantam. That means what? this madhu in one drop of madhu. What is madhu? What is honey? It is the excretion of the honeybees. They don't want it, so they excrete it and they leave it. So in one drop of honey also, what happens? There may be the eggs of these honeybees and all these kind of things. You know? So all these kind of, what to say? So murkha buddhi manushya, mudadikaha, madhu bhajati. He takes to madhu, not knowing that the nature of himsa involved in this consumption of madhu. So he takes to violence. Clear? And how do you get the honey? Without disturbing the honeycombs, you cannot get the honey. So when you're disturbing them, you're disturbing that species. You're disturbing those creatures. So it amounts to violence. Then Madhu Chatte se swayam. Then now he's asking a question. Okay, I will not hurt the honeycomb, but can I take the honey that drops from the honeycomb? I'm not destroying them. I'm not disturbing their existence, but can I consume the honey that is dropping from the honeycomb? So he says, Swayameva vigalitam yo gahaniyadva chalena madhugolat tatrapi bhavati himsa tadashraya praninam ghatat. That means, how violence is there? I will not take to any wrong practice and take to that harming that honeycomb, but I will take the honey that is dropping from the honeycomb. So why do you tell me not to have? Then he is telling that even in that honey, no, there are ashray bhut jantu. Like I told you, the eggs or any other creature can be there in that honey. So we are not to consume that. Okay? Clear? Anything
question,
else
if I can,
people want to add over here?
This is a question from your naturopathic background. We understand that honey has got a lot of nutritional value at the same time. So where do you see the balance between ahimsa and the nutritional value of honey when we're looking at consumption?
Very good, very good. See, in Ayurveda also, they say that along with some Ayurvedic medicines, they give the honey thing. But if you follow a complete naturopathy diet, no, you will not need these substitutes. What you want, you get from jaggery, from the dates. Then you don't need to visit these honey and all these things.
Okay.
I know. So the best substitute for sugar is your jaggery, that too, desi good.
Yeah.
That one thing is enough to attend to all your sugar needs. And if you have, then you have the dates, which you get by more non-violent practices than honey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe in those days, the biodiversity was so rich and there used to be honeycombs everywhere and people were harming them. And then the bees would get disturbed and then the pollination and everything would get disturbed. So for the larger reason, they have told us not to take the honey.
Right.
If you want the honey only, then you go and disturb the honeycomb. No. Otherwise, you see there are animals like bear and all, they need this honey. So leave it for them. Leave it for the other large animals.
So artificially,
so when the bear is there, the forest will be there. Honey is there, so bear will be there. Bear will be there means forest will be there. No honey, no bear, no forest. Same with tigers, the tiger reserve and all. If tiger is there means the jungle is there.
So ma'am, artificially they do, no? Honeycomb is there, then, I mean, they, like for the honey factory or whatever.
Honey.
Yeah, so that also disturbs, like, you know, they move they don't break the house or whatever, the honeycomb.
Breeding, you have the honey means leave it for other creatures. Why you have to consume it? That means you are so much excited by the taste of it. तो आपका रस परित्याग कहाँ होगा? रस परित्याग में आप कैसे जाओगे? If you keep nurturing the tasty, nurturing matlab, if you keep taking the tasty things, how you will go to the ras parityag level, top level? Clear? So 3 reasons we got. One is for the larger biodiversity. Second, because of the breeding place for many creatures over there. And third, from the spiritual point of view, our tap cannot happen. Okay. And naturopathy, I told you, your good and your dates can take care of everything. And if you have too much of a sugar tooth, then how you'll overcome it? How you'll overcome it? You can't give this little sugar tooth. How you'll give up everything and go to your Atma then? So what you feel you like, attack that first and give it up. With sound reasoning, not just emotionally leave it up. No, sound reasoning. That is what they are trying to tell us over here, the sound reasoning. Okay, chalo. Next, they are going to tell us about the 5 Udumbar fruits. Yoni, Udumbara, Yugmam, Plakshanya Grodha Pippala Falani, Rasajivanam, Tasmatesham, Tad Bhakshane Himsa. So these Udumbar fruits are the Yoni. Yoni means the birthplace for many Tras Jeev. What are these Udumbar fruits? They have given Udumbar Yugmam. In that they have given the name Umar and Katumar. Then Plaksha is Pakara, Anyograda Pipala. And then Anjir and then Banyan and people. All these are the birthplace for many Tras Jeev, biodiversity. इसलिए उनके भक्षण में, don't take to consumption of these. Then it amounts to violence of the Tras Jeev also.
Ma'am, Gunda doesn't come in this, no? That we make that pickle, no? That sticky thing, Gunda.
No. Gunda doesn't come here. Gunda doesn't come. But Gunda and all, for many days, if you keep, it comes under Abhaksham.
Okay.
And I'll tell you one thing, if you like it, you take it. If you don't like it, leave it. Those who are really having that Vairagya and Mumukshu Bhav will cut down the use of pickles, aplam, papad, khar, namak, everything. I've seen many Diksharthis, they don't take all this from my childhood. So from that time onwards, I just developed a mind that I should also not take all this. So in my house, papad is made, tikdi, khichya is made, but I will just, only when it is fresh, I will take. Otherwise, other people only I'll be distributing and they'll be having. I won't have it. Achar, I've replaced my achar with the coconut chutney, khopra chutney. Even that malga pudi is spicy or my mirchi jada, I will not take it. I'll take that bland khopra chutney with dalia and with little jeera and hing. Enough. And I get my fiber from there. So all these naturopathy substitutes I've learned. That takes care of my things. Chale, aage. Okay, so where was I? Udumbara. So these 5 places, these 5 trees, fruits, they are the place for these Tras Jeev, so they should not be consumed. Next one. He says, if these 5 Udumbar fruits are not the place for Tras Jeev, can I consume them? He's asking. Oh, you're telling Tras Jeev is there. Supposing there are no, it is not the breeding place for Tras Jeev. Can I consume them? He's asking. So what does the author say? Yoni tu punarbhavyehu kalo chinna trasani shushkani bhajatasyanyapi himsa vishishta ragadi rupa syat. He says that these 5 Udumbar fruits, when they dry up, okay, they have become Tras Rahit. There are no Tras Jeev in that. But if you consume them, it will amount to Vishesha Raga Himsa. Your rag, your passions, your kashai will increase by consuming them. So give them up. See how carefully, how meticulously he is guiding us. The inside, the outside of these practices, you know. Okay.
Yes. Ma'am, so even in Pajushani, when we dry vegetables and people are having, that is also rag only, no? Paryushan, like you don't want to dry
See,
stuff.
my idea of Paryushan is okay. I'm not talking about the practice. My idea of Paryushan is 8 days or 10 days complete upvas rehna chahiye. You can't do that complete upvas. Okay, then just have one meal. In that one meal also, have a diet that is nutritious. Don't have this kathol. See, in Rajasthan and all, they used to have kher sangri. No chana, no mot, no mogar, nothing. They are all kathol. Very hard to digest. From where this has come in our system, God only knows. And they will be eating all those things and they will be farting. They'll be having the gastric trouble. They cannot concentrate. They'll feel too heavy. They won't feel light. So this is not my idea of Paryushan. Ever since I'm following this naturopathy diet, in these 8 days, I don't take to, in fact, you won't believe if I tell you that in my house, that chola, you know, Punjabi chola bhatura, I think it's been more than 4 or 5 years I've not cooked it on. Without that only my gadi goes on. I don't cook the chane ki dal. I don't cook gatte ki sabji. I don't cook so many things because of the heaviness attached with those foods. Very light, easily digestible things I prefer. So during these 8 days Paryushan, I can just have my khopra chutney, curry, roti is enough. With little athana mirch. That's all. 4 things is enough for 8 days. And I don't take sweets. Kheer and this and that. People will be cooking what not in these 8 days, 10 days of Paryushan. You don't take the greens, but you'll have so many sweets. You'll have so many doklas and pafadas and khakras and all dead food. That is not my idea of Daslakshan or Paryushan. I will have my dry fruit diet. I'll have my very bland khopra diet and keep myself going. And out of the 8 or 10 days, 4 days to upvas aa jata hai. Every alternate days upvas kar lo. Ek din khana hai, thoda sa kha lo. You can just have kadhi roti and live for 10 days. Why you have to have 10 things? Do ras parityag. Have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 dravya. Why more than 4 dravya? No, that day we'll have a lavish. What item today? Today khichu, today khakra, today this, today jalebi, today kheer, today malpua. इससे तो अच्छा है तुम वो हरी वनस्पति खा लेते. तो इतना दिमाग तो नहीं खाना पड़ता कि ये आज क्या बनाना, ये बनाना, वो बनाना. Sorry, I'm sorry to say that. Hari vanaspati, I don't mean it, but then going to so much of dead food, it is better you take some nutritious food and concentrate on your spiritual element.
Ma'am,
Yes, Shobha madam.
you said about pickle. I understand that it's fermentation and this thing. Why papad? Papad is dried up, no? Everything is gone. It doesn't require.
Papad is too much of sodium chloride, dear. Too much of soda, namak, which is poison for your bloodstream.
Papad has soda, is it?
Soda. You make papad khar, they put in it so much.
Oh.
It is better to have khichya than papad, rice appam than this dal applams.
Because in our areas, when we make vadam and papad and all, we don't use soda. We just.
I'm talking about the Marwadi papad, okay? Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Okay, right.
Very dangerous. And they'll be making all this papad ki sabji and all that. I hardly touch it. I hardly go to it. See, I won't say I'm proud. I'll say I'm happy about what I practice, you know. So I integrate my nature cure and that makes me come to the real Jainism, you know. Yes, bolo. Somebody saying something? No, yeah. That's it.
No, I said papad methi.
Papad methi. Have kachi methi. No, why you have to have papad methi? One second.
See, even our agamas give so much importance to food. We should live to we should eat to live, not live to eat.
But now I think the whole system is changing, no? See, pehle ke zamane mein nahi tha. Now so many restaurants are there, food is there everywhere. Food is so important. Pehle itna nahi tha. Everybody cooks in their house, ho gaya, finished. Now it's like out, and it's a big market.
Which one, Rajul? What is a big market?
Food
Let me know.
Food
Huh?
market.
Food.
Pehle it was
I know,
simple,
I
na?
know, I know.
Hotels nahi thi, restaurants nahi tha, kuch nahi tha. Apne ghar mein khao, bana. Ho gaya, like, you know.
Yeah,
Kabhi
yeah,
once in a while you're going to a outside to eat. Chote the tabhi. Abhi everything has changed.
You know what
Swiggy,
happens? 8 days,
Zomato.
you know what happens? 8 days, 10 days, you do this fasting, no? On the 19th day or the 10th, 11th day or 9th day, people go to hotels and eat as if they have never eaten, you know.
हमारे यहाँ तो there is a joke, no? पर्यूषण के दिन restaurants are empty. सबको others can go to eat. उसके बाद पहले और पीछे भरा हुआ रहता है.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. है ना? Chalo, whatever. So where is that Sayyam? Where is that Unodari? You have done Upvas means next day it should be Unodari. But you're eating double Udar. That is when you fall sick. And you know,
Yeah.
there was a news 3 or 4 days back, how fasting can cause heart issues. It is not because of fasting, it is because of the wrong way of breaking the fast that causes the heart issues. बिना मतलब उपवास तब बदनाम हो जाता है ना? Somebody fasted for 8 days, they were not careful in the parna, they died, then you'll say, oh, he did 28, so he died. अरे 28 ने क्या किया? आपना before the 28 and after the 28, or you were not careful with your diet. That caused all the trouble. Okay, chalo, I don't want to go that far. Come here. Now, this is done, 73. I'll just do one more and then I will leave it. And then we will go to, I think this chapter I will conclude next class. And yeah, if I go like this slowly, I cannot conclude only. Okay, next one. He's telling, Ashta Vanishta Dustara Durita Ayatana Anya Muni Parivarjya Jina Dharma Deshanaya Bhavanti Patrani Shuddha Dhiyaha. Shuddha Dhiyaha. Dhiya means Buddhi. Shuddha Buddhi Vale Purush. According to Jaina Dharma Upadesh, they should understand that these consuming these 8 things, Ashta, these Ashta things are what? Anishtakari. They are going to cause immense suffering. Then they are they will be very difficult for you, and they are the birthplace for many evils. So a person with Nirmal Buddhi should understand this and give up these and become a patra to absorb the teachings of the jinas. He should become worthy to absorb the further teachings by giving up these practices in the first place. They are also called as the Ashtamola Guna of Shravak, one who doesn't consume these 8. Okay? Chalo, we'll stop with this. What follows this is, he's going to give the Vidhan. Shall I do this Sutra 75 and then leave it? It's very important. He says, Krita Karita Anumananair Vakaya Manobhirashyate Navada. Outsargiki Nivritir Vichitra Vichitra Rupa Pavadiki Tvesha. That means what? Krita means doing, Karita means getting done, Anumodana means approving of those who do, by Man Vachan Kaya. This, you combine these 3 with these 3, you get 9 combinations, 9 permutation combination called as Navakoti. So in Navakoti way, we should give up the violence. This is called as the Utsarga Marga. Utsarga marga means compulsorily to be taken up. But if you can't take up the Navakoti Ahimsa, then take the Apavad, keep some exceptions and take it. Then you have the way of Apavad, exceptions. But exceptions cannot be a rule. As a rule, these 9 should not be taken up. Why? Because whatever Himsa you do, it is going to bounce and come back to you only, no? So you are subjecting yourself to that suffering. Now it looks as if you are causing suffering to others. But actually it is told very beautifully in Acharang Sutra, you are the one whom you want to kill, abuse, insult, injure. There is no other. That living being is also like you only. So when you're hurting him, you're actually causing you're sowing the seeds for getting that punishment back. So if you really love yourself, give up the violence in all these 9 ways. Krita, Karita, Anumodita. So you can combine and see, to do by mind, to do by vachan, to do by kaya. To ask others to do by man, to ask others to do by vachan, to ask others to do by kaya. To approve of those who do by man, to approve of those who do by vachan, to approve of those who do by kaya. For example, somebody has given a very lavish party and you go and appreciate it, what you have done. Anumodan of that act through vachan, through man, through kaya. So you want to go means you go, but if you have to appreciate at the face level, appreciate, but inner level, say michhamidu. I don't approve of it. And Dhikkare ji, what are you doing? What are you doing? That way we have to keep communicating with ourselves. Auto suggestions we have to keep giving. Then one fine day our jiva will come out of all the violence and then the real non-violence ka mangal acharan will start in our life. Okay? So there are 2 ways, Utsarg and Apvad. Utsarg means as a rule, not to be done. Apvad means, okay, you can't do the Muni Vrat, means Shravak Vrat may be careful. Okay? So next class we'll continue from 76. Jai Jinendra. Anybody wants to
Jai
say?
Jinendra,
Thank you.
Do we have time for Gandhar and Bhavbhashan? Do we have time for Gandhar and Bhavbhashan today? Or will
One person I can take. From what I have taught, somebody should repeat. बोलो पारस भाई, आपका ले लूं?
हाँ जी मैम.
हाँ, दे दीजिए गंधर.
जी.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. We'll do the Jinvani Stuti. And those who want to leave can leave. Nij nidhi nij mein bataayi. Yah anant upkar hai. Uske liye Jinvani maa ko vandana shat baar. Yes, dear. Bolo.
Yeah. Okay. Should I start, ma'am?
हाँ, बोलो. 3 minutes.
Yeah. जय जिनेंद्र.
आपका वॉल्यूम बहुत कम है, मुझे बहुत परेशानी हो रही है.
Okay, I'll come a little closer, ma'am.
हाँ.
Is it better now?
Yeah, better.
Okay. Today I'm going to be talking about the 8 angas, which is from Sutra 23 to 30. This is about all the 8 angas of Samyak Darshan. As we all know, Ratnatraya comprises of Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, and Samyak Conduct. And to be able to know, understand all these 3 parts of Ratnatraya, we need to understand them in detail. And today we are going to be talking about the 8 pillars or 8 angas to understand Samyak Darshan. The 8 pillars are the first one is Nishankit Anga, which should be all free from doubt. The true believer should never entertain any doubt as to whether all these many-sided views of things proceeding from the omniscience are true or untrue. He should never be skeptical. Inquiry should not be stifled, but it should begin in a reverent manner. With a firm belief in the truth, the earnest inquirer should proceed to investigate in a steady manner the real nature of the subjects of his inquiry. Second one is Nikankshit Anga. It should not be disfigured by expectations. A right believer should not desire riches of the world in this life, splendor of Chakravarti or Narayana, in the life hereafter, and take up or follow other sects that that advocate one-sided views. Nirvichikitsa anga, a right believer should not entertain feeling of revulsion or disgust in conditions such as hunger, thirst, cold, or heat, and at the sight of materials like excretion. The fourth one is Amurdrasti anga, that is, let us not be superstitious. A true believer who has faith in seven tattvas should never have a superstition belief in a fallacious scripture, an unreal doctrine, or a false deity. The fifth one is Upgohana anga, that is all about fault finding. A right believer should constantly meditate on virtues of dharma, like supreme modesty, in order to protect the soul from all contrary dispositions. He should not search for and proclaim the faults, defects, and discrepancies of others. The sixth one is Stitikarana anga. It is all about the right belief. It means steadiness on the rise of passions like sexual desire, anger, and pride, which tend to move the soul away from righteous path. One should strive to reinstate oneself as well as others on the right track as per the teachings of the scriptures. The soul, which when going astray, re-establishes firmly on the path to liberation, must be understood to be an unwavering right believer. Seventh one is Vatsalya anga, which means that the right believer should have affection for co-religionists. He should ever cherish feelings of deep affection for religion, which brings about the treasure of spiritual happiness, and also for all other co-religionists. And the last one is Prabhavana anga. It is a desire to enhance the glory of the faith. He should promote Jainism through exceptional charity, austerity, worship of the omniscient Lord, and learning. Thank you very much.
Sorry, okay, very good, Paras bhai, I told.
Thank you so much.
हाँ?
Yeah.
Okay, भाव भाषण किसमें से करना है?
इसी 8 pillars में.
Okay. Can you tell me how you practice these 8? Some examples can you give?
Yes, for example, the Nishankit Bhav anga. Earlier I used to be doubting whatever the scripture should be saying, and I wanted proof for everything. Now I've realized that not everything you can have a proof. You need to trust a few things, and that helps you understand things faster and better. So, the Nishankit definitely. Similarly, even the Vatsalya Bhav, when you have for your co-religionists, that also helps you, understand the religion far better. The vibes are better, and understanding, the scriptures together also helps you understand the religion better. And the last one is Prabhavana anga, where you share or do charity. That also makes you more humble. The more you do it, the more humbler you become.
Okay. I would like to say something. When you say Nishanka, not doubting, that means we should not doubt that my nature of my pure soul is like this.
Okay.
That my atma is ज्ञाता दृष्टा अकर्ता, इसमें doubt नहीं होना चाहिए. Samyak darshan is all for the atma, by the atma, in the atma. Sure. And when you become desirous of seeking your own pure nature, that is when you will have nikanksha, desirelessness outside. After you have got your understanding of your pure soul, that is when you become desireless. So as you look upon yourself, you look upon all your fellow brethren. That is Vatsalya.
Sure.
And then you want them also to understand this pure soul concept. That is Prabhavna. But you are so impressed with that bhav of that pure soul that Prabhavna is happening inside. You're not able to contain that joy inside, so you go outside and you appreciate people who are doing that. So all these 8 limbs have to be applied on our inner realization, which should reflect outside in this way.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chalo. So this was the second question. Next, can you tell me something about Upaguhan?
Yeah. Upaguhan is it's all about fault finding. So
very good.
Yeah. So there, we have this tendency of finding faults and judging people. So I think it's all what we need to do is to judge ourselves, analyze ourselves, rather than trying to find fault with others.
I would like to add over here that in our Atma, along with our Atma, all the Kashaya Atma is also operating. So even though the Kashaya is there, don't hide your understanding of the Gyanatma. In the middle of all the Kashaya also, I am Gyanatma. Let that bhav be ever present.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. And not finding fault with others. Or even if you have done a fault, don't go on a guilt trip permanently. Come out of it and march ahead. So it brings out of your past was that Paryay was bad. It's okay. But next Paryay can be beautiful.
Absolutely.
So all these kind of very deep understanding we need of these 8 limbs. If these 8 limbs are not there, we cannot get Samyak Darshan. And a person who has Samyak Darshan will definitely have these 8 limbs.
Actually, ma'am, when you try and understand each of these angas, I think they are very simple, but it is the practice which makes it very difficult, because we are used to doing things in a particular way, which are not necessarily the righteous way. So, so that makes it very difficult. Otherwise, I think these are pretty simple to implement.
Yeah. So we have to look at them from the spiritual and psychological point of views. From the Kashai point of view and from the Adhyatma point of view, and then from the social point of view.
Sure.
Okay, chal, I give you full marks for both. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jai Jinendra,
Jai
everybody. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Jai
but
Jinendra.
one thing is, ma'am,
Bolo.
when we talk about, let me switch on when we talk about Samyak Darshan alone, unless we course correct, it's the Samyak Darshan can be lost immediately. We have to course correct and apply it immediately in the conduct. Like if we say that, I'm a Shuddhatma, I realize that I'm Shuddhatma, I don't, I don't go on a guilt trip, I feel that I can, unless I immediately course correct and put myself in the right path, which is the conduct, with that gyan of understanding that I am a Shuddhatma, that's a gyan, right? And immediately it has to be put into application. If that is not done, just getting Samyak Darshan alone will not help actually.
Okay. I will try to say very beautifully. You take it. See, when Samyak Darshan happens, Samyak Darshan alone will not happen. 99% of the conduct correction happens along with that Samyak Darshan. That is your Anantanubandhi, Krodman, Maya, Lobh is gone. That means your understanding and your practices to 99%, your understanding is 100% and your conduct correction at the 99% level has happened. Then only we call it Samyak Darshan. When Samyak Darshan, why I'm telling this in the context of Mohaniya Karma, when Darshan Mohaniya goes, along with it, that Anantanubandhi, Krodman, Maya, Lobh also goes now. Definitely, yes. It goes up. That deep level understanding when you have, the surety you have, that all these things are not worth taking up. All violent activities, 5 sins are not worth taking up. But I have to take them up. Even though I'm taking to them, I'm not the one who is doing them. I am that pure soul. In everything that bhav resonates. That is when the Charitra Mohaniya goes and your Charitra becomes Vitaraga Charitra and the Gyan shines in Keval Gyan. So this will happen steadily. The Apratyakhani, Pratyakhani, Sanjwalan, Kashai going and Charitra Mohaniya going is a process from 4th Gunasthan to 12th Gunasthan. But the understanding level and the 99% conduct correction happens at the same shot.
If that is so, where do we lose the Samyak Darshan? Because we do know that we can lose the Samyak Darshan and we need to start all over again, right?
That is when your Mohaniya Karma Upsham, now our Mohaniya Karma is Upsham. So we are enjoying all this talk of spirituality and all these things. But when these Kashai surface, that time will we be able to be in our pure soul? Or The big question mark. Okay.
So,
Okay.
the losing the Samyak Darshan is not in your hand. It's the previous karmas which are rising and which are.
No. See, that is one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is that you are not exerting that much passion and commitment to your spiritual goal. So the karmas have overpowered you. So you have allowed your enemy to overpower you. That means you were weak. So we have to build on our upadan only. We have to work on our upadan and not blame the nimitt. The upadan is always there, but now go and see the 3 types of upadan. We have to work on our upadan.
Okay.
Okay, or kuch. That's it for today. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.